Okay, I've got my coffee. I hope you have yours too. And start coding along with me. Like I said, I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code. And one of the plugins I've installed is called Live Server. And that just allows us to display our code on a browser in real time. So we can just chop and change between our code and browser, and it's kind of linked, aka our computer's acting as a server. But anyway, if you want more details, post it in Q&A. I'll be happy to explain exactly how it works. But here we've got an empty index.html file, and I don't want us to start in a complicated way. I just want us to have HTML. That means no CSS and no JavaScript. Okay, and I don't know, I mean, we could build anything. Let's just have a very simple page with 2 forms. That's it. So let's get going. HTML. And let's have a title element, and let's just call it what is the DOM. And then we can just have a body element, and within that we can have a heading. And the next few lectures, I want us to understand the hierarchy of your page, of the DOM, because this is the crux of understanding how it works. So let's call our main heading, let's start with hierarchy. That is a very weird word. I hope I've spelled that correctly. And now let's have a paragraph tag. And we could say anything. Did you know that the default width of an input box is 20 characters? Now let's just put in our forms. So let's just say first form. And let's create a form. We won't have an action. We just want to prevent anything from happening. And let's say it asks for your first name. And I'm just including these line breaks here, just so it looks a bit better. Not that this is going to look pretty in any event. And let's do our second form here. And let me get rid of these first 2. I've got a bit of OCD. So there you go. Let's get on to our second form. Also, again, no action. This is just for illustrative purposes. And for fun, let's just do checkboxes. And let's just say we're asking the user for their mood. Are they happy or are they sad? And this value can be happy. And by default, we can have this checkbox checked. And of course, this is I am happy. And we can have another input type, and this time it's going to be I am, you've guessed it, sad. And that won't be checked by default. And of course, we're going to change the happies to sads. And as you guessed it, we also need a submit button. So we're just going to go input type equals submit. And its value can be submit. So there you have it. Very simple page. To recap, we've got a body, we've got a heading tag, under that we've got a paragraph, and then we've got 2 forms. And now let's display this in our browser. Now this is where the live server comes into play. If I get rid of myself, you can see that in the bottom right corner, we've got this Go Live button. This is the live server. So if we click on that, we'll see our page. And yes, this doesn't have fancy CSS, so it's a very simple site. But you can see we've got our input box and we have our checks here, our checkboxes. So we've done our page, we've got our input boxes, we've got our checkboxes. But what does this all mean? Well, you're going to have to wait for the next lecture to find out. See you now.